Just a quick video to drop just an important fact that I think you ought to know. So, Matt Stevens, one of the lead programmers on the s&box game engine, he is also known as Handsome Matt. He made the Gmod store or whatever. So in 2019, he was also at Facepunch, working there. He was a moderator of then the official s&box Discord run by Facepunch. He and Layla were mods there, I believe. And while he was a mod there and working at Facepunch, he posted things in that server to troll people, to offend people, to just be an asshole, you know. One of those things was a link to the I don't know if it was a link or in Bevio or what, because the message is obviously lost, but it was what he posted was the 2019 Christchurch, New Zealand mosque shooting stream. You know, that mass shooting that was streamed. That was, I'm laughing, but it's like a panic. It's like a holy shit laugh. Like that sucks. That, I mean, I feel kind of, fight or flighty just talking about it right now. But it is like, yeah, it's bad. It's he just like posted that, and that's a video that has been widely shared with extremists. That has been something that has inspired a lot of sort of copycats. That's a big deal. That he would just post that just to piss people off in what is like essentially a work chat, like where his coworkers are and where members of the public are too, like Facepunch's fans and all that. People just trying to learn the engine. Like he posted that right in 2019, and he actually got his Discord account banned for that. I've seen the email from Discord. I've seen the ID of the requests to trust and safety. I've seen there's a link to the message itself. Of course, it's long gone. The server has been deleted by Garry, who definitely knows what Matt did. But anyway, for posterity, if anyone would like to, I don't know if this is possible, if this data still exists, but if anyone would like to make a case for a hostile work environment at Facepunch, if they want to like maybe subpoena Discord, say, yo, what was up with that? Like, what account did you ban for this request ID, and this message? Is this legit? Does this seem like, what do you have on this? Because Garry doesn't tell his employees what to think. But, that's not as cool as it sounds, right? Garry tries to be the cool boss, the I don't tell you what to think, everyone should just chill and get along guy. But like that doesn't really work when like one of the people you're trying to put in the box with all the other people is just so obviously harmful. Like it's sad. If I worked at Facepunch, I would be fucking pissed at Garry for forcing me to associate with someone like Matt Stevens and Layla. But that's a more of a anyway. Yeah, the fact that Matt wasn't immediately fired is just Garry really fucked up. He dropped the ball with that. Like, there's no excuse for not immediately firing Matt. He's not someone who it's really safe to be around if he's just gonna show racist gore in work chat. That's, I don't think I need to say it, but that is unforgivable. That is straight up a career ender. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. It's the sort of behavior that makes it kind of impossible for other people to tolerate working with you. Like, what if someone is like an immigrant, you know? What if someone is a Muslim and they're working at Facepunch and they hear, oh, that one of the lead developers, like Gary's right hand man, yeah, he showed footage of that mosque shooting to troll people. It's how the fuck are you supposed to feel if you're in that situation? Like, I mean, Gary can just say, oh, get over it, get thicker skin, you know, grow up. You live in an echo chamber where people aren't sharing racist gore with each other. Like, you're enriched by this exposure to the fucking heinous shit because he isn't like the target of the bigotry that is you know, propagated when you do stuff like this. He can just like comfortably say like, oh, if someone's being racist, if someone's sharing gore, just fucking ignore it, just close your eyes, dude. Like, he's so fucking stupid and sheltered. I hate it. I mean, that's a big problem because he's supposed to be making a game engine that anyone can enjoy. You know, I really liked it for a while until the people who were working on the engine would just like they used it as a platform to be fucking assholes and troll people all the time and share fucking Trump memes and Elon memes and fucking just like try to provoke reactions out of me. Because like when I see that kind of shit, I get really, it bothers me because I'm directly, you know, socially, materially, like affected by the rise of fascism generally. Like that's not a joke to me. That's not like some hypothetical thing that I can laugh off like Gary can. Like, he doesn't understand or care that he has it way easier than everyone else for dealing with this shit, and he's like sculpted this environment where these fucking fascist Smitherses, Layla and Matt, are just like kissing his ass and like sharing their shitty opinions and remember, this isn't just like a work thing. This isn't just like a small group of people who are like locked in a closet working on some software project for a long time. This is a public facing Discord where people are just like saying the worst shit. Like, okay, so the original like Sandbox Discord was deleted because of, you know, the fucking horrible shit that Matt did and others, I assume. Like, I wasn't there. That was before my time. I've only been doing Sandbox stuff for 3 years. The new official Sandbox Discord server is like, it has the same spirit of just being a place. Like, you can sometimes they'll talk about like actual development stuff, but other times they'll just like fucking say really mean stuff. And even when they're doing stuff that's like their actual work, like talking to people who are trying to use their software, you know, they'll still be assholes about. Like, to give you an example, there is someone who is a rather famous figure in the game development indie game development space, Kenny.nl. I think he's from the Netherlands. He makes these asset packs. They're really great. You should check them out. They're shout outs to some guy way more famous than me. There is this guy is like really the kind of person you want to have, you know, supporting your new game engine. And Matt and Layla have just like been total assholes to him. Like, just fucking weird goblins to him, and like he stopped doing stuff in Sandbox. I wonder why. You know, not only that, but obviously I'm not able to tolerate the shit that goes on in there. I've been like the target of like too much trolling to really get into. Like, I don't want to waste your time with that, but like the atmosphere on the Discord server is fucking bleak. It is just people trying to like just be all sassy and like trying to get a rise out of each other. Like, one guy like posted a photo of like Alex Preddy, like just to piss me off because he was like talking about like he knows that I'm pissed off about all the ICE stuff. And then like Layla, the Facepunch lead, like, one of the lead programmers on Sandbox, was talking about, oh, I love ICE, Trump's not doing enough and all that, just to piss me off because like they know that me, you know, like I'm really affected by these things that are happening in my country. And for a while, the sandbox community was great for me. Because I was making games and tech demos and I was doing a lot of really cool stuff. I was excited to share my projects with people. It was my main creative outlet. It was I'm basically unemployable. I have disabilities which make it extremely difficult for me to like kind of integrate with society in the way that's kind of expected, where like even holding like an office job where I just do like QA work or something like that, that's too much for me right now. So this has been like a great way to sort of talk to people and do stuff and be a part of the world and feel like, I'm down on my luck. I have, I don't want to like fall too much into self-pity, but I need to recognize I am marginalized. I am someone who really like struggles to get the same experience as everyone else. So, but like I'm also someone who like when I see this kind of thing, when I see the community just like slowly filtering out people because it's so rampant with like bullying and toxicity and far right, just platforming really hateful stuff, like I it bothers me. I can't let it go. I have to say something, even if it means making an enemy. I put my skin in the game. Garry doesn't, or no, he does, but he doesn't realize it. Like he doesn't realize that his actions right now are absolutely fucking him. They're absolutely fucking him over. They're fucking over Facepunch. Every employee there who like isn't a freaking asshole, like who isn't some weird chud, like everyone working there right now fucking hates Matt, I assume. I mean, I can only assume at this point, right? Like if Matt and Layla, like if these two assholes are just going around ruining things, like making Facepunch look like a den of fucking freakish alt-right weirdos, like if these guys are making such a huge stink, causing reputational damage, driving off members of the community, like genuinely hurting the ability for the sandbox to actually take off, like why would you want to be associated with these people? Like Matt and Layla, they're like probably friends to Garry. They probably hang out, go to the pub, all that shit. Like they tell good jokes, Garry laughs and all that. So like I think he's just too fucking weak to lay down the law and say, hey, you know what, you're really, I mean, that the generous interpretation is that Gary's a fucking pushover who can't say no to people who are just shitting on his bed, who are just like breaking into his, well, not breaking into his house, I guess they've been invited into his house, but they're tracking mud onto the carpet, they're wiping their dirty racist fingers on everything, they're like plugging one nostril so that they can hawk a booger, like just launch a booger out the other nostril, like a chud. I don't know. It's just being absolutely insufferable assholes in Gary's house, and he just lets them. He just lets them walk all over him. Either because he's a pushover and he can't say no to his friends. He's like some fucking pathetic Michael Scott, like sado who can't like. He just can't comprehend that your subordinates, the people you have insane amounts of power over, aren't necessarily going to be your friends. Like he doesn't get that, or maybe he just loves racism. That's the thing. Like maybe he's just a racist and he loves racist things and he wants to collect racist things and make them upper management and just live in a racist bubble. Maybe Gary's a fucking racist. Who knows? Like, I can't say. I'm not a mind reader. That's the thing. I'm not a mind reader. I can't tell you, like, what crimes exist in their soul. I can only tell you that, like, Garry has all the power in this situation to make things right. Namely, fucking fire Matt. Tell Layla to shut the fuck up and not talk to anyone who's important. And like he chooses not to. He has made the choice that no, I'm a ride or die for these freaks, even if that means dragging the whole company into it. I've heard from a Facepunch programmer who isn't Matt or Layla. I've heard from them that like this whole thing that I've been doing, like bringing up stuff on Bluesky, like talking about how there's all this bad behavior going on. Like that programmer is really annoyed because this thing is making them seem bad by association. Uh, like me saying these things, or maybe the fact that these things have even happened, like it makes it seem like Facepunch is like just a hotbed of racist weirdos. But I mean, that's not my fault. That's fucking Matt, Layla, and Gary's fault. Like Layla, who says, absolutely no immigration. That's xenophobic, right? That I mean, that's also racist. Like, because when fucking British chuds think about immigration, they're thinking about brown people. They're thinking about Muslims. They're thinking about like victims of there's like a didn't you guys have like a pogrom recently? Didn't you guys have like some horrible race like violence, where a bunch of loser white guys like tried to burn down houses? Like that's nuts to me. Like that what why is Facepunch? Why the fuck is Facepunch cultivating these kinds of attitudes? Like what the fuck? Come on. Do better. You can do better. But Gary, he's not going to do better unless he's forced to. That's the thing, is like the great man theory of history is bullshit, right? It's not the fact that like Gary's the wrong guy to be leading Facepunch. It's the fact that the system isn't going to hold him accountable. There's no way to easily like bring these issues to light and make sure that Gary is appropriately punished for his fucking negligence. That's the thing, right? He owns the company, even though from what I hear, like the better run part of the company is the one like that makes Rust. Like Alistar's way better about this apparently. Like, and like the people working under him generally aren't such raving assholes, which is interesting because what we have is a situation where a company where the money making portion of it isn't like a bunch of freaks, but then there's like this tangential like freak portion of the company where racism is free to reign, and I'm just saying, if everyone on the Rust team said, hey, we don't want to deal with fucking racists, we don't want to deal with fucking freaks, please fire these assholes, or no, not even please, we demand you fire these assholes, or we're not gonna fucking work for you, right? Like you could actually, all of you together, you could say, hey, we're doing a strike here. We're not working until fucking Matt's fired. You could do that. I mean, that's my own personal like that's my like pet cause, right? I'm not going to enlist an entire development team to fight my battles. But I guess it's not really my battle, it's like yours, right? It's your reputation. It's your being associated with fucking freaks, right? Like it's letting Gary just have his way with Facepunch, even though, I mean, he doesn't do that much compared to other people. Like, he's not like doing all of the work anymore. It's not like a garage project anymore. He has dozens and dozens of employees. He certainly owes them more than they're given. Although I hear that compensation at Facepunch is pretty good. So I guess I don't know. It just kind of strikes me as being like, I don't know, have you seen Mr. Robot? There's like a scene where like a rich guy in a suit just like throws dollar bills at a homeless man after beating up the homeless man for fun. Like just I'm gonna be an abusive asshole, but like here's some money. So like money buys anything. It can be converted to and from anything. It solves all ills. Here's some money. So what's the problem? Gary's just that kind of guy, I think. I truly believe that, like, well, I think he's not a great guy. But I mean, I guess I can't get too specific because I don't know. I don't know what goes on in his head. I've gone way off the rails here. I'm not going to make a script for this because every time I try to make this, like, I panic. Like, seriously, I'm feeling flight or fight. Since I since I was like banned from the whole s&box community for speaking out against Garry, like speaking out speak up against Garry, Matt. I complained about Sam as well, but he's not as big of an issue because he can at least hide his power level, as the Nazis say. Um, which, like, I still think he's a problem, but like, definitely not a battle worth fighting at this point. Anyway, so like, since I got banned for calling out all this stuff, like, I just been really depressed, really anxious. Like I've been thinking about this basically every day. It's been a dark rain cloud looming over my life because, this was my main creative outlet. I liked making stuff. I like letting other people see the stuff that I make. I lost that. I've lost something that's really important to me just because I spoke up about something that was a huge problem, and I'm not the only one who's felt horrible, who's been like driven out of the community because of all the bullying and toxicity and just horrible behavior that like Garry allows. It's been rough. I have friends, I talk to, and I'm going to therapy. I have a session every week, and believe me, this shit has been like the main topic I've been talking about for months. It has been really fucking me up. So I guess, I don't know, part of me making this video is catharsis. I want to get this out there. I really hope that someone, at Facepunch, or maybe a journalist, or like, it just, okay, so if someone at Facepunch wants to try to change things, do not individually try to change things. Let me be clear about something. Garry's a petty asshole. He's gonna retaliate if you do that. Okay, do not do anything as an individual to speak out against this, right? At least not like directly. If there's some like labor board in the UK, I don't know how it works over there, where you can say, hey, this freak, it works at the company, who's like a racist and he says horrible things and makes everyone feel uncomfortable. Like, if there's like some documented thing you can point to get like local regulators to come in and say, hey, you're not doing labor correctly, like, maybe you could do that, but assuming you can avoid retaliation, but don't like do anything alone, because Garry is gonna fuck you over. He doesn't care about you. He really doesn't care about you unless you're a racist. Like, that's the thing. I think that's the thing, honestly. I think that's the thing he looks for in employees. Like, he'll pretend to like care. He certainly will pretend to be the cool boss until it's like inconvenient, until it like insults his ego that like you're saying like, hey, you shouldn't allow this kind of behavior. It's not cool. So yeah, as an individual, can't do anything. You could unionize, though. Honestly, I mean, this is sort of hand wavy at this point for me, like almost a meme in America, because our unions are so weak, comparatively speaking. But that is genuinely the solution. Like, if your boss is like an asshole and he owns the company and there's nothing you actually can do like on paper, unionize. That's the only way you can actually force him to do anything, is unionize. And plus, when you're dealing with these issues, if you're trying to change things alone, that's impossible. Well, it's not impossible, but it's a huge burden. HR will not be on your side. They're there to avoid liability. If you go to HR, it has to be something with like, it has to be with something that's like criminal, or that they can be sued out the ass for, just to scare them into doing something. If you don't have something like that, don't bother with HR. They're not going to fix things. The one, someone who could be on your side, though, is like a union rep, right? Because they would represent the interests of you and your workers, and you wouldn't have to go this thing alone. Like, that's the thing, is like, so I have autism, ADHD, social anxiety. It's been very, very difficult for me in the few jobs that I've held to really advocate for myself. I've made the mistake before of going to HR and then getting put on a PIP and told you should smile more. Oh yeah. So it's I really would have benefited from having a union rep I can talk to who would actually, in good faith, be like, "Oh shit, it sounds like you have a disability that's making it difficult for you to do your job. Here, I'll help, negotiate a way for you to get into a position that better suits you, back into an old role that you did, or like, I mean, that's me like talking about how I needed accommodations, but in this case, it'd be like, I guess your union rep would have to like talk to Garry, like say, hey, why are you allowing this? Here's the reasons why this is a problem. Why this will cause issues for lots of people. Like if you're just like a random programmer, like you shouldn't have to be taking the burden of explaining this, right? Like it really sucks the way that labor works, where like you have like this massive responsibility to negotiate and advocate for yourself, but if you're like disabled or you just don't have a lot of free time or energy to devote to this shit, like it's a tax that like makes it really disincentivizes holding people accountable for shitty behavior. And if you're one person, right, if you're not collectively bargaining for something, then you practically have no like real power, right? You're just kind of praying that the person you're talking to isn't an asshole. And I regret to inform you that Garry is an asshole. He employs a few assholes who he keeps close. He just revels in assholery. He just it's his thing. It's he's not gonna change unless you force him. That's yeah. Yep. Well, yeah, part of the reason I made this video is catharsis. Part of it's to, I guess, inform other people. Honestly, you should, if you made it this far without looking at the transcript, the automatically generated transcript that's available on every video on YouTube, wow. You could have skimmed the transcript, though. That probably would have saved you a lot of time, but I appreciate it. This is, I'm venting, I'm talking about something that's important, but like, I don't have the means right now, like, emotionally. Like, I cannot like write a script in Obsidian, a note app, and like record something really nice and put it in DaVinci Resolve and like put a lot of nice visuals on. I think I'm gonna just do like a black screen for this video, and unless there's like a specific thing I need to show, it is, yeah. So yeah, my advice is stay away from Facepunch, stay away from s&box. If you can, just, I mean, if you're making money on on s&box, if you're like, if you just need to get by and like survive, have money for rent and all that, like I understand. Like I'm not going to guilt anyone for still using the s&box engine, but let me say, if you are considering getting into the engine, I would strongly advise do not, because the guy you're going to ask to implement asynchronous readbacks of GPU buffers is like a fucking racist asshole. That's the thing. Like you're going to need to collaborate with some people who are very just awful, like awful. Oh yeah. So I kind of wish I'd put all that time into Godot, but I did meet a lot of good people in the s&box community, and to be clear, like most of the Facepunch employees are actually awesome. It's just like a few assholes. It's just like it's tragic, because if a few things were different, like this would be amazing. I would be so happy right now. I'm just so pissed. Anyway, I'm gonna work on Godot or something. You have fun, take care. Bye everyone. Hopefully next video will be nicer. Will be something more good, uplifting. All right, see ya.